This is E-Commerce Uncensored. Brought to you by Fast Forward Unlimited. We're coming to you fully loaded and exposed with all the strategies and techniques for growing your e-commerce business.
Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us on another episode of E-Commerce Uncensored. This is episode number 105. My name is Kevin Manell, and I'm here with
Jason Caruso.
No Pauly Chew today. He's working from home.
Yeah, 105. 105 or
105. We'll get it right eventually.
Well, it's actually not 105. It's 105.
105. 105?
105.
Yeah, okay. We'll get it right.
Right.
So a couple weeks ago, we talked about some beginner's guide to Facebook tips that we gave out.
Facebook ads.
Facebook ads.
Beginner's guide to Facebook tips.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
What he said.
Right.
And we wanted to go into detail about one of the topics we discussed, and that's targeting.
Yeah, but I guess two weeks ago, we talked about audiences. This week, we're going to talk about targeting. I think people make targeting much more difficult than it needs to be, and much more complicated than it needs to be.
This is another topic that came up in our Facebook group like a couple months ago. Someone was asking the question. He was saying, like, I have an audience that likes this, that has interest in this and that, and I'm like, just simplify it a little bit.
Yeah.
So go into that.
And our Facebook group is ecommerceuncensored.com/Facebook, and it will redirect you. But before we get into this episode, we're going to talk about our favorite email relationship platform.
Relationship building platform.
Yeah, I sent you an email.
I saw that.
Did you see that? Okay, so let me tell you about Klaviyo. We love Klaviyo. And yesterday I got an email that said that now Klaviyo can predict the next time someone will buy from you. And it then will allow you to send an email to them according to what their profile or the intelligence tells them.
Right, and this is just something that they added to their flow library, right? That's constantly changing and adding new stuff, right?
It's insane.
Yeah. So it's made for you. It's just already in there, built out for you. So that's really cool.
Yeah, and I don't care about that part of it. I mean, that part's cool, but like for them to be able to predict the next time someone may buy from you,
yeah,
that's insane.
I don't even get it. I don't even know how they do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's obviously an algorithm that figures out all this
We
stuff.
had some of their brain scientists on our podcast a while back, and I could kind of get where that comes from.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And I'm really loving the direction these guys are going in. But if you are not using Klaviyo, there's a problem. I mean, It's just like that simple. If you're not using Klaviyo, there's a problem. Now, there are other platforms out there. The one that we find to be the most useful is Klaviyo. And if you use our link, ecommerceuncensored.com/email, you will be redirected to their website. They give you a free trial up until 250 contacts. And yeah, they give us credit for that. They just basically, that's how they track back where people who sign up come from.
It's funny. We had a con call yesterday.
Just couldn't wait to get this out. I just saw you chomping at the bit.
No, we had
Go ahead.
we had a con call yesterday with a con call with a client, and it was with a company that was basically a competitor of Klaviyo. And it was in the middle. I was like, "Are these guys really trying to compete with Klaviyo?" I was like, "I'm just going to jump off now."
Yeah.
I just left the meeting. I was like, "Forget it."
That platform actually turned out to be pretty cool, but I wouldn't leave.
It was a little different, I guess, but it did similar things as Klaviyo.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave Klaviyo for it. So, anyway, ecommerceuncensored.com/email.
Yeah, and sign up for that, and then jump over to our Facebook group, ecommerceuncensored.com/Facebook.
All right. So let's get into a little bit about Facebook advertising targeting. Right? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. We've spoken about this in the past because I remember talking about how in the beginning, Facebook, like everybody, all the quote unquote gurus were like, you have to have this ninja targeting. And if you don't know the ninja targeting techniques, that's why your ads aren't converting.
Yeah.
And maybe in the beginning, there was a little bit to that, but at this point, you just really have to give Facebook a little bit of a head start. Just like point them in the right direction. Now, it depends also on what your product is, right? Like we have clients who sell to homeowners. In that case, you need very little targeting. Mm-hmm. I mean, very little targeting. Maybe tell Facebook like what kind of stores they shop at. Like for example, like if you're selling to homeowners, maybe like Home Depot. I mean, most people that are shopping at Home Depot are either going to be contractors or people who own homes. So if you're selling something to homeowners, maybe, and that's like enough.
And I think it could be like a stumbling block for people and a barrier to get started, because when you do go in there, it's like one of the first things you have to do is select your targeting, and the maximum amount of targeting you can do with Facebook can be overwhelming, and you can get so detailed with it, which, I mean, when you're narrowing it down, it could work, but it's really like keep it simple. Like if you're selling a skincare product, just maybe do people who are interested in skincare. Don't like are like skincare, but like certain brands, and also are this or that. Just be like skincare women.
Yeah,
and then let Facebook find the people who you're looking for.
Yeah, and then what you can do is like we spoke about in the last 2 podcasts ago. You can then start creating audiences. So people come to the website from that broad audience of skincare, right? And then you can create audiences of people and then create lookalike audiences, right? Or if you start getting sales, you create custom audiences, right? Like you get an email list and you upload it to Facebook, create an audience out of that, then create a lookalike audience from that. I mean, literally, you can go on and on, but as Kevin said, like in the beginning, don't get like too crazy. Like I used to do this when I first started with Facebook ads way before I was here. Like when it first came out, whenever that was, I would get caught up in like my ads aren't converting because I'm just not getting the right, combination of targeting, and it's not the case. Usually what it comes down to is really just having the right offer in front of the right people, right? Now, yes, targeting does put you in front of the right people, but at first, when you're starting out, you can be really broad, and then you start dialing it.
Yeah, even with the skincare example, I mean, in my eyes, I would almost say like every woman could potentially be interested in skincare.
Right.
So I would even like try starting with just women.
Yeah.
Maybe you do an age bracket, depending on what product you're trying to sell, but broaden it out. That's a ton of people. But what Facebook is going to do, it's going to serve it up to women. First of all, it's going to serve it up to, depending on whatever objective you have in your ad. But that's a whole nother conversation. But it's going to start, as it learns the people who are clicking on your ad and interacting with your ad, it's going to automatically start targeting people who like skincare.
Right.
It's going to take those data points of everybody, and it's going to put that 2 and 2 together, and it's going to do the work for you.
Right. So some of the things that you want to look out for. Number one, look for other brands that sell a similar product or the exact same product. For example, TaylorMade is a golf company that creates golf clubs. If I'm going to sell golf clubs, I can just target TaylorMade's Facebook page, right? Like, I know those are golfers. I know they like golf clubs. I know that, like, sure, maybe they like TaylorMade golf clubs, but I give Facebook a head start and kind of point them in the direction, and that's it. From there, I start building the audiences like we spoke about two weeks ago. But that's all you need. Yeah. You don't need to be like, TaylorMade men who make over $100,000 a year and who works for Goldman Sachs. I mean, you don't have to do all that.
Yeah, you can also, if you do that, you can also have your ad text do targeting, like just the way you write or just the content you put out there, the image that you put on your ad, the video that you put out there. That's going to narrow down people too. Like if you're doing your example, if you have targeting TaylorMade, but you have like maybe a lower end product, a cheap product that maybe like someone who has a higher income may not be interested in, just because they like buying expensive things. Tone it down and tailor your ad to that level of person.
Yeah, so definitely look for other brands that are selling similar products. One other thing that you should do is go into, now I'm going to suggest that you go into Audience Insights, which is a Facebook tool that basically shows you the amount of people that you can potentially target. And you can get there by, once you're in your ads manager at the top, there's a hamburger. Kevin, can you go to that? I want to see what it is.
The hamburger menu up here.
Hamburger menu.
Yep.
And then if you go down to all tools. All tools, and then
Audience Insights. It's right under the first column.
Yeah, it's under the first column. Now, I will say one thing about this, and I know Kevin's going to agree. Audience Insights sometimes does not 100% jive with the targeting once you get into the ad set. What I mean by that is that it almost is like they're pulling from two different databases when you're searching, right? Like, because Audience Insights, you can put like men, you can select an age, you can select interests, and it'll tell you how many potential people you can target. It tells you how much money they make, their education, all these things. But what I found is that when you then go create the ad in the ad set, it doesn't always like match up perfectly.
They're not always available in the ads manager. Is that what you're saying?
Like in Audience Insights, sometimes we'll have something that in the ad set you can't target, or vice versa.
Well, I think they toned it down too a little bit. Maybe this isn't quite in sync with that.
Even like before they toned it down.
Okay.
This like I would find like an interest in here, and then it wouldn't be in the ad set, or I'd find it in the ad set and it wouldn't be in here. The numbers don't always jive either. There's a lot of inconsistencies, but this will give you like an idea. This will give you an idea.
We have is that a squirrel? We have a squirrel in the ceiling. That's great. That's really nice.
You're acting like you just heard this just now for the first time.
I every time I hear it, I feel like it's the first time, and I don't know what it is. I get nervous. Anyway, another thing that comes to mind in here is, it has the ability to target. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the microphone.
Probably not.
There is a squirrel crawling around in our ceiling. It's freaking me out. You can also look at the people who like other pages, like the amount of people who are going to be there, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, because there may be a page that you try to target that does not have enough likes for you to target. So what I do is I'll go to one of those pages and then I'll see pages that they liked, because it's oftentimes the bigger players in the space. I also did a video in our group, ecommerceuncensored.com/Facebook. I did a video with like a little hack, like how you can like see the exact ads that your competitors are running,
which is huge.
It's huge because you can see how they talk to their customers. You can see what kind of creative they're using. I mean, you don't know which ones are working and which ones aren't, but it can give you at least a head start.
Man, it's sometimes really hard to get started, and I think that could like just.
Honestly, I don't know how Facebook allows that.
Yeah, that's so weird. They rolled that out like a year ago, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying I really hope it doesn't go away, because I love looking at it.
I love when we've lost clients along the way just because of certain reasons, and I always go check and see what they're doing on Facebook.
Right, and it's usually they just copy what we've done.
Or I'm like, I can't believe they're doing it this way. Like,
right.
That's my what I like going in there for.
Right. So that's really, targeting, I think, has changed. Facebook has gotten so smart. They've gotten just much smarter. They know. I would say pick a gender. Pick an age group. So usually, I like to keep, stay in the 20s, stay in the 30s, stay in the 40s. You can do. I mean, you can. Sometimes I see people doing like 35 to 45. You could do that. Sometimes I like to see, because Facebook will tell you in the ad like who's actually clicking, the age demographic of the people who are clicking. And then you can kind of narrow it down from there, like in the insights of the ad. But I usually like keeping it in like the same.
What's cool about that is that you can. It's one thing that you can speak to your audience about. Like if you're targeting people in their 20s, in your ad copy you could say, "Hey, people in their 20s do this."
Yeah, or like men in their 20s start going bald.
Right.
In my case,
whenever
like
it was for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing you can do real quick before I forget, because I will forget, is a lot of times we'll do, especially if we're running like to a cold audience and we're just picking targeting like this, we'll exclude people who already like our pages. So we're not serving our ad up to people who already know us.
Not and us too.
Yeah, and ourselves. I don't want to see the ad because you're going to end up, you could spend money on that, impressions for stuff like that. So it's just a little bit there, a little detail there that you could just exclude people who already follow your own page, so you're not serving it up to people who already know you. Now,
there are times where you may want to serve it just to your, if you have like a big fan base, whatever the hell it's called, like a lot of likes on Facebook. In that case, you may want to run it just to people who know you, and then you would serve it to your page.
Yeah, if you're running an offer and you're using email to send it to your email list, but then you have 100,000 followers or whatever on Facebook, serve it up to them.
Yeah, I mean it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to sell, put it out to cold, you're trying to put it out to warm audiences. It just depends on what you're going to do. But I think the moral of the targeting story is to keep it simple. Just point Facebook in a direction, and they will figure it out from there. If your stuff isn't selling, it's probably not targeting.
Yeah.
I mean, really. I mean, you can definitely drill down later when you're starting to make a lot of sales and you're getting a lot of data. You could certainly get your cost of acquisition lower by getting or using more specific targeting, but that's not in the beginning. Most people need to go very broad, and then from there you start kind of zeroing in on exactly who the audience
is. And Facebook wants you to be successful because they want you to continue to spend money on their platform.
Right.
So they're going to do whatever I'm saying they're like their algorithm is a person, but they're going to serve your ad up to the people who are going to they're going to try to serve the people it up to.
You get it out.
who are going to convert for you because they want you to just keep spending and spending, and that's how they do it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's it. I mean, I don't really. I think part of this is not making the episode complicated either. I think it's a very simple and straightforward thing. Pick an age demographic, pick a gender, and it's also so that you can see, because somebody asked this in the group, I believe. Do an ad set for men, do an ad set for women, do an ad set for 20s, do an ad set for 30s. The more you can separate it and the more data you can get to see which ad sets are converting or which ads are converting, either way, the best, you just split them up and you don't have to spend a lot of money. $5 a campaign or whatever, $10 a campaign.
Cool.
So I think that's it. You got anything else?
Klaviyo.
Oh yeah. ecommerceuncensored.com/email. You have to get it on. You have to get on this thing because the intelligence that they are building into their platform is literally insane and game-changing.
And we're pushing our clients. We're like, we need to start building relationship. You need to start building relationship with your customer base that you have. You can't just send them offers all the time.
Right.
You got to learn who they are. Become friends with them.
Exactly.
You got something to say, Albert? Looks like you got a pad there.
Yeah, really.
Anyway, sign up for Klaviyo. Did you say give the link?
Yeah, ecommerceuncensored.com/email.
And then our Facebook group is ecommerceuncensored.com/Facebook. That's a growing community over there, which is great. And that's about it.
Talk to you guys later.
Thank you guys so much. This has been episode number 105. You can check us out as always on ecommerceuncensored.com. Thank you guys so much.
Later.